Good morning, one and all. Am I audible to you? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So shall we start the class or shall we wait for 1 or 2 minutes? I think it's better we start. Fine. So yeah, let me introduce myself first. Uh, my name is Peter, and right now, I'll tell about my past, my education and my how I came up in Ibemhal IAS coaching academy. So I did my schooling at Sainik School Impal, Pangai. Then I went for engineering and SSE Mysore in the year 2009. And in the year 2009, I passed out. And after that, I did my MTech in Bangalore University in Advanced Materials Technology. And after that, I tried for some jobs like for 2 years. And then I got multiple job offers at HAL, then Schneider Electricals, Accenture, etc. Then after that, I thought let me leave all this and let me go to research. And then I'm presently doing my PhD from IIT Madras, and right now I am yet to give my defense viva. So it will come within the next within the next some couple of days, maybe around 10 days. And yeah, right now I'm also a faculty at guest faculty at MIT Manipur. So that is my brief introduction. And if there is anything you guys would like to ask, yeah, you are free to ask. You guys are free to ask at any point of time in the entire presentation. So it's I also wrote this SSC and all. So in my approach or in my what to say, I never felt that like I will be going in SSC, so I never tried that much seriously in SSC. But yeah, SSC junior engineers I cleared, and then I did not join that also. So that is my brief introduction. So going back to the topics, like most of I think within the last 2 days, other faculties, they might have told you about the various questions and the approaches that you will be following while solving this while facing this SSC examination, CGL, or the CSAT in UPSC. So I'll be focusing mainly on SSC as of now, as of today, and maybe in the later classes when we actually face like one-on-one, then I'll be covering up in a more elaborative way, so that like it's you have a clarity in your concepts, and then you can apply many like similar concepts for solving various types of questions. So that would be the approach. So in SSC, what you have to know is there are some ways of solving the problem. So it can be like, say you have A option, B option, C, and D. For any type of question, this is general concept. So in, yeah, and I forgot to mention one thing. Yeah, I'll be handling some portions of QA. So in QA, myself and some other faculties will be handling. So I'll be handling some chapters, and other faculties will be handling some chapters. So when you are facing some problem, when you're given a problem, say any mathematical problem, say, and you have some options A, B, C, and D. So you can approach in different ways. The first approach that you can approach is through concepts. Through conceptual approach, that is like understanding that you have gained over the years, like in your till your 10th standard. So like everybody knows about ratio and proportion as of now. Like you guys must be knowing about ratio and proportion without fail. You must be knowing, I know that. But like in competitive exam, what you can do is like if you try to follow all those concepts and then try to solve each and every problem and derive all the problems at there itself, you will be consuming a lot of time. That is like it is time consuming. Yes, through concepts you will be consuming a lot of time. So but in SSC first tier, SSC first tier, you will be having about 36 seconds per questions. So if you, even if you know, even if you are able to solve the problem, you will be consuming a lot of time. That is more than 36 seconds. So which will be affecting the your performance in like while facing some other problems. So that will be obviously affecting. So you have to kind of avoid such kind of like approaches. But if you like, if you are stuck somewhere and if you are unable to solve, then this conceptual like approach will be helpful to you guys. Okay, then the second approach is formulas or memory. So in SSC, what you can find in SSC or in Bank P or it can be any competitive exam, one thing you have to know is these questions are repetitive in nature. That means like one question, like several type of questions will be asked again and again. So if you know how to solve some particular type of question, suppose if you identify, if you could identify certain questions which are asked similarly in a similar fashion, then why do you need to like apply your conceptual approach for solving those problems? You don't need. It will be very unwise of you to go from conceptual approach. So in such cases, what you need to do is you have to either you have to remember that such questions can be tackled in a particular way. That means there can be some formulas that you can remember, or it can be very easy with this approach. So with this approach, if you can remember, it'll hardly take some 15 seconds per question. So if you can save some time, that is 36 seconds to 15 seconds, then you'll be saving a lot of time. Okay, so you have to find, you have to go through the previous year's questions again and again, and then try to remember like all these approaches. Fine, and all these things will come only when you have been exposed and then you have tried to solve all these problems again and again. Only then this approach will work. Otherwise, you will go back to this conceptual approach, which is time consuming. So you have to avoid this one. So the first approach that you need to follow is formula or memory based. Fine. And the third approach that I would suggest is like, it is hidden trial. Yes. So it is hidden, right? What does hidden trial mean? Suppose you have a question and then you are given some options, say like 25, 35, 40, or 38. So these are the options that are given for a particular question. So what you can do is you can use these answers and then put back to those equations or put back these values to those problems, and then try to see if these conditions are satisfied, whatever is asked in the question. So that is hidden trial method. So this one will come at the last. Fine. So these are the approaches that you can follow. First is the formulas or memory based. Then second is the concept. Then third is the hidden trial method. So sometimes I may be wrong in these two parts. Sometimes you can feel that hidden trial method works better also. You can find this one. So that will come naturally to you with passage of time and when you like try to solve as much as problems. Okay. So these are the three approaches that you can attempt for. So is there any doubt in this aspect? Anybody? If you don't have, like, we can proceed further with the analysis of some questions. Fine. I hope nobody has doubts in this, so I'll rub it off. Okay. So we'll be analyzing some something about the question patterns that are asked like in previous years, that is 2020, and then even this year also we'll be analyzing. So this year recently we had some examination for CGL first year, that is on 16 also they had until 24th I think they had. Okay, so 16 August 2021, 24th August 2021. So there has been some examination for CGL, SSC, CGL. Okay, so we'll be analyzing how many portions of how many questions came from each and every chapters. Fine. So is it visible to you guys? Is there any problem with the board?
Yes, sir. Uy.
No, right? Thank you. So before we, so let us try to analyze. You have various chapters. The first one is ratios, and in ratios, in 16th they have some 2 questions, and on 24th they have 2 to 3 questions. And in average, they had 1 question, and here 1 to 2 questions. The number system, they had here they had nil, and here they had 2 questions. And then simplification, two to three questions over here, and you have 1 question from here. Then time and work. Time and work, you have 1 question over here, and you have 1 question over here. Then simple interest, compound interest, you have 1 and 1, yes. And profit and loss, you have 2 questions over here and 1 question over here. And trigonometry, yes. And and due to the lack of space, I wouldn't be writing the remaining, but then I can read it out. So in coordinate geometry, there was no questions. In SSC first tier, this is about the first tier. And then from geometry, some 2 questions were there. Then mensuration, yes, 1 to 2 questions, and here on 16 it was 3 questions. And and percentage, there was only 1 question in 16th, and algebra was around 2 to 3 questions. Then DI was maximum was around 4 questions. So all you need to do, why I am writing all these things is you may have a feel about what questions are what questions are coming from what chapters. Fine. So all of you, you might be knowing what is ratio and proportions, and average also you must be knowing. All these things you have studied, you have been exposed to in your 9 to 10 standard. Fine, right? So all these things you will be just remembering, and then you'll be developing some new approaches for solving all these questions in a very easy manner. And the total number of questions will be around 25. So around 25, and if you attempt for around 19 to 20 questions, you are on the safer side. Your M should be 19 to 20 questions without fail. Okay, so this will be our aim. And if you get 25, that is the best thing that you can be rewarded to. But then see, 19 to 20 questions you have to attempt without fail. This is just for the QA, and it might be different for some other other sections, which can be English or which can be reasoning, etc. Fine. And the questions, the nature of the questions was it was lengthy. So lengthy questions, they take more time to be understood in a better way. So you have to improve your English as well, like how to identify or how to understand the question in a proper way, in a faster way, proper and a faster way, so that you can simply write in terms of equation x plus y equal to 12 or something, like it can be anything. So while reading the question itself, you have to make sure that you come up with those equations right at that moment. Only then you'll be able to face all these problems. Okay, and what can be the other like thing is, all these questions, like when evaluated, it was about moderate and easy. Yeah, believe me, like SSC, CGL, Tier 1, like it'll be much easier as compared to the Tier 2. So you need to like make sure that like all the easy concepts are understood when you are facing CGL Tier 1, fine? And then you memorize all those approaches, or you remember all those approaches that you are like the questions are repeated. Yes.
Moderate and Kehano sir,
Easy. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. So, is there any problem with the language that I'm speaking? Like, or do I need to speak in Manipuri also sometimes?
It's okay, sir.
It's fine.
Okay, sir.
So let me do like this. Like I'll try to explain it as much as possible in English, and wherever I need to stress a little bit, I will explain it Manipuri also. Fine? Is it fine for you?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Because see, like when you are explaining your mother tongue, it'll be sometimes it is much easier to understand. So that is the motive behind my approach. So let me also explain in Manipuri sometimes whenever we are trying to explain some concepts. Fine. So that is the nature of questions: moderate and easy. So easy means like it'll be as simple as solving x plus y plus 12 or 2x plus 3y equal to 32. So it'll be as simple as this one, solving this one. These are the easy stuff that these are the easy stuff. Okay, these are counted as easy stuff. And moderate means you will be having a lot of calculations to be done. Fine. So you will be, it is time consuming. So if I have to write over here, moderate means calculative. Yes. The moderate means calculative. That means you will be multiplying, you will be dividing, you will be adding up, or you will be subtracting it like multiple times. And there might be some decimal places also, or there might be some root over or cube root or some number. So it will be calculative in nature. That is what I meant by moderate. Okay, so this itself is time consuming. Yes, this itself is time consuming. So when you are wasting, so like in your approaches of solving the problem, when if you don't remember, or if you don't revise, or if you don't like see those previous year's questions, then you will be first of all trying to understand the question itself, and then you will be coming up with some new approaches that you will be solving, and after that you will be calculating all this stuff, all the answers. Fine. So when you do all those steps, it will be time consuming. So it will be very unwise for you if you don't like revisit the previous year's question, and if you don't do this in a very fast manner. So the next question that you can ask me is like, so how do we improve the time consuming portion? How do we reduce the time that will be used for calculating these type of questions? So in these approaches that I will be telling, so there is a chapter called as number system. Okay, number system. This is a very important chapter that you must be knowing, that you must know. Okay, so in number system you'll be exposed to various number system, and then divisibility, and how to multiply two numbers in a faster way, how to divide two numbers in a faster way, addition, subtraction, everything. All this will come into in number system, and you have and you will be also exposed to how do you actually how do you multiply big numbers, how do you multiply how do you get the cube roots of a big number, say how do you get the cubes of a number. So all these things will be exposed to you guys. Okay, so once you get whole of this chapter, this number system and the quicker mathematics portion of it, you will be able to do all this calculative portion in a very fast manner. Fine. So you have to understand about like the number system like in a faster way, in a, like you have to get a whole of this number system. Okay, and then you have to jump to other portions. So this one I used to prepare for CAT examination in back in 2007, I think. Yeah, 2007 I used to go
not
for
audible.
Kaheba, Alex, any issue?
Sorry, you were not audible minutes ago, few seconds ago.
I'm unable to, yeah, pardon me.
Sir, you were not audible a few seconds ago.
Oh, sorry about that. Maybe some network issue. Was it the problem for all of you?
No, sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
it might be some network issue. So I can repeat whatever I told once again. Yeah, for Alex. Alex, is it audible?
Yeah, sir, it's audible now.
Okay, fine. So what I'm trying to say is there is a chapter known as number system. So number system will in number system you will be exposed to many things like all the number system and divisibility and like how to multiply two numbers in a faster way, or how do you multiply, how do you divide two numbers in a faster way, or how do you add up or subtract two numbers. Fine. So all these things will be taught in number system. So once you get hold of how do you multiply two numbers in a faster way, or how do you divide two numbers in a faster way, you will be able to calculate all this information in a faster way. So if you can save some time in calculations, and if you can save some time in developing the approaches, in identifying the approaches, then you will be saving a lot of time. So in SSC or in bank PO, or it can be anything, any exam. So the first thing is approach needs to be identified, or concepts needs to be developed, and secondly calculative portion. In calculative portion it entirely depends on your practice. Fine. So if you practice more, you will be able to do the calculation in a faster way. So back in 2005, yeah, I was telling about this thing. I was preparing for for CAT examination, and then in Time Institute. You guys must be knowing about Time Institute, I guess. Anybody who doesn't know? Anybody? I hope everybody knows. And may I know the population, like you guys better? Like, have you cleared out your graduation, or you are in the final year? Anyone?
Final
Is there
year.
anybody who is in the final year?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's great that you guys are preparing from right now itself. So so even for like UPSC also, what people do is during their graduation itself they start preparing, right? And then if you can like when you are younger, that is when you are 12th standard or 10th standard, your memory power is very high, and with the passage of years, like you will be your understanding will become better. So when you are younger, that is when you are still trying to like doing your BSc or BA, you try to you at least try for all those concepts, or you start preparing there itself. Fine. That is what I meant to say. So one trick that I would be telling you is how do you improve your multiplication, or how do you improve your division in a very fast way. It's like I used to when I was in 2007, I used to prepare like this. So 20 minutes. I used to take 20 minutes. The first day, say like August. So you guys also can start right from September 1st. September 1st. Oh, it's not at all visible. Like, is the screen visible to you guys? Sometimes. Okay.
Blur selection.
Blur selection. Kaya blur selection.
Kamu ko alam mo mula daw.
Zang blur screen.
Focus. Kano daw mo auto focus.
Auto
focus ko kaya kala man sa blur yam chale.
Blur yam chale. Usa auto focus luto ko yada. Yade. I think say the 20 minutes ye siya mo hindi. Mang re.
20 minutes
blurry ho rega. Okay, ako say setup kitang tauri ka. Aduga ako nang paying si.
Okay.
Anyone from engineering background? Engineering background, leave me out, bro. Yaude. Fair. Yeah, yes. So I think now it's working. So what I used to do is like you guys also can start doing this stuff like right from tomorrow itself. So let us take September. So the first month that you will be exposed to your training. Okay. So first September, you take 20 minutes when you wake up. Okay. When you wake up, you please book this 20 minutes for yourself now. So now what you try to do is previous night you will be writing some 10 questions. You will be writing some 10 questions in a piece of paper. Fine. Maybe you can copy these questions from any of the books that you are referring to. Maybe previous year's questions or maybe multiplication, division, those sort of problems. Say like 321 plus 4398. Okay. So just write this question down in a piece of paper the night before, and then you have to write such type of questions, about 10 questions. Okay, it may be some 301 minus 250. This can be one of the questions, or it can be multiplication also. It can be anything. It can be division, it can be multiplication, it can be anything, subtraction also it can be. Or the other sort of questions that you can write is 1 by 2, 3 by 4, 5 by 6. Like you try to arrange in ascending or descending order. So you guys try to solve these problems, these 10 questions within 20 minutes. Okay. So this is the first day that you will be facing. And the next day that you need to do is still continue these questions for 2 more days. This type of questions for 2 more days. Only 10 questions. Now, on 4th September, what you can do is you can take 18 minutes. You can take 18 minutes and then you can increase your questions by 15 questions. Yes, right? So either 15 or 12 questions. Let us say only 12 questions. So you start all these things like this. You increase the number of questions and then you decrease the time. That is the first thing that you do after you wake up. After you open your eyes, just go to the table and then try to solve these things, even without going to the loo. Okay, so this is the first thing that I would be suggesting. So why I am suggesting in the morning also, I'll be letting you know. So 12 questions, and after 2 days you'll be 14 questions and maybe 16 minutes, and so on. And there will be a stage wherein you will be solving in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, you'll be facing some, let us say, 20 questions. Okay, you'll be able to solve 20 questions in 10 minutes. Okay, and then if you try more, then you will be able to even reduce the time and then increase the number of questions that you can solve. So if you try this approach at least for a month, you will see a tremendous change in the way of like your calculative power. Okay, so you guys can try to like apply this the approach in your preparation. So if you do, you will be able to solve in a very lesser time. Okay, so this is one of the approach that I used to follow when I was in BTech. And then why morning, even without going to the loo? So it's like when you are like when you sleep, your brain is like relaxing. So in the early morning, like your brain is entirely free of all the tensions and all the stresses that you will be facing the whole day. Okay, so when you are stress free, try to do all these things so that you can remember all these approaches in your like application in day-to-day life. Means when you are facing SSC examination, suddenly there is a question like how do you do this one? So if you are practicing it every day, you will be able to solve within some 5 to 10 seconds. So you will be having that opportunity to complete the questions in 10 seconds. Like for other people who doesn't follow this approach, they might be taking 30 seconds. Say like they follow the regular pattern of 36 seconds per questions, and you are able to do it in 10 seconds. So you are in bonus of some 26 seconds. So 26 seconds you can use to solve some other questions. And then some of you you guys can ask, what do we do with the remaining 26 seconds if we solve everything in in 10 seconds? So in those situations, what you can do is, see, in SSC or in any exam, there will be some questions which are very difficult. So which are meant for like time consuming, fine? Or there will be some questions which are not repeated. In those approaches, you will be either exposed to those type of questions in the coaching, or you have to develop your own approach while you are facing the examination. So what you can do is, you can right away develop those sort of equations there itself. So 20 seconds bonus from one question, 20 seconds bonus from another question. So all these things, all this time will be adding up, and then you will be able to develop some new concepts that the new questions like will be consuming. Fine. So these are some of the approaches that you can follow for improving yourself. Fine. Is it clear with all of you? I hope it's clear. If there is any doubts, yes. Is there any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much for responding. So let us make during the class, like if it is offline, it is the best thing. But in these pandemic times, it is online. So I'll be requesting only one thing from you. That is, let's be interactive enough. Fine. So when I take my classes in MIT, like one very good thing about my students is they will be responding to whatever I'll be asking. So suppose that somebody doesn't understand the question, or somebody doesn't know how to solve the question, they will be right away asking, or they will call me up any point of time, even in night also they used to call, 10:30 also they used to call, and then they'll be asking those questions. And then I'll be trying to like explain them in whatever way I can. So the same goes for you guys. So yeah, I forgot to give my phone number. So my phone number is 9790469532. And for those people who came late, yeah, my name is Peter. Once again. Yeah. So yeah, that is about the about some of the approaches about the introduction part of CGL, Tier 1 and Tier 2. So, and the new approaches that you can follow to improve yourself. Fine. So next, we'll try to see some typical questions like that were asked in CGL 2020, Tier 1. We'll see some typical questions. So one question says, so the first question is, let us discuss, okay, if the number is okay, let me just let me rub it off and then try to explain the question itself, else it will be very time consuming and I wouldn't be able to question like even complete some 10 questions. So let us suppose that there is a number 1005x4. This is one number. So when you are asked in the examination, what will be the value of x if this number is to be divisible by 8? If this number is to be divisible by 8, what should be the value of x? Okay, so the value of x is asking, and the options that are given to you are 0, B, 1, C, 4, and D, that is 2. So these are the options that are given to you. So is there any options like, okay, so is there any approach that you can remember from your earlier classes, or you might have forgotten about divisibility by 8? You don't remember, right? So yeah, that's fine.
Last
Like we'll try
digits,
to
last 3 digits.
last 3 digits. That's very good, excellent. So last 3 digits should be divisible by 8. Yes, right. That's excellent. So what people without understand like if you don't remember, what people can do is like they can divide the whole thing with, like they can start putting this one with 0, then 1, 2, 3, and so on. They will be doing this kind of stuff. But if you remember, you'll be taking only these 3 numbers, that is 5x4, and then you start putting the value of C. Here, instead of actually going to the number system, you can take directly from the options. Okay, so you can take 0, you can take 1, you can take 4, you can take 2. Okay, so only 4 numbers you have to take without actually taking all the 10 numbers from the number system. Okay, so in case like, so they have asked about the smallest value of x. So smallest value of x within these options is 0. So 504. You have to identify from the answer itself. Okay, this stuff. So 504 divided by 8, is it divisible? Yes. So 6, 48, 24, and 4 and 3. Yes. So it is very much divisible by 8. So your answer right away will be 0. That is the first option. Suppose the same question is twisted in a different way, and then you are asked about the divisibility by 6. Then if do you still remember like about this divisibility by 6 without referring to any of the notes?
It's divisible by both 2 and 3.
Yes, right. That is very good. 2 and 3. Yes. So anyway, if you try to see this problem, this number itself, without changing the number also we'll try. See, is it divisible by 2? Yes, because the last digit is divisible by, it's 4. It's even number. So what about divisibility by 3? You add up all the numbers and then see if the factor is like if the sum is divisible by 3 or not. Okay, so what you will be doing is, I'll be writing it over here. Yes, 1 plus 5 plus x plus 4. So your number will be like this, and you'll be having something like 10 plus 2, 10 plus x. So if it is to be divisible by 3, the value of x should be 2. But like there is a easier way for even doing this one also. So whenever you are asked about divisibility by 3, take the entire number, and if these two numbers are divisible by 6, divisible by 3, let us say the sum is 1 plus 5 equal to 6, then remove this portion right away without even considering the remaining answers, remaining portion. Okay, 1 plus 5 equal to 6. So this one can be erased. So the only remaining number is x and 4. Now, what can you add to 4 in order to get divisible by 3? So the value of x would be 2. That would be the answer. Fine. So the same approach. So if you are given a longer number, let us say like 1 3 5 8 9 7 0 1 0. So if you are given such kind of problem, such kind of let us remove the 0 portion. Yeah, if you are given such kind of question, what you can do is you can simply remove these numbers. Okay, 3 you can remove, 1 you can remove, 3 you can remove, because 1 and 5 would be adding up to 6. You can remove this. 3 can be removed, 9 can be removed. So you can take only these two numbers. Okay, so when you add only these two numbers, you will be having 15. That is divisible by 3. So you can right away say it is divisible by. Okay, okay, that is also 1. So you can right away say it is not divisible by 3. So that is the approach, one of the approach that you can follow. Fine. Yeah. Then I hope you guys have understood the approach, or you guys can like stress on why do you need to remember certain approaches for identifying the divisibility. Okay, so you can remember this portion, like for divisibility by 8, you need to see that the last 3 digits are divisible by 8, or for 6 the number should be divisible by both 2 and 3. You need to remember this thing. So there is certain memory that you need to remember. There is certain portion concepts that you need to remember, without which you wouldn't be able to solve. So just try to memorize all those concepts. Fine. So we'll be telling about all this stuff like in the coming classes. So let us go to the next class, next question. So is there any doubts with anyone over here? Any doubts?
No, sir.
No,
right.
sir.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
The next question is about geometry. So, okay. So it might need you to draw like just once in the sense like when you are trying to derive, or when you are solving the class for the first time, you need to draw. Else, like there is no need for making a picture for the next coming question. So for the next question, I feel that if I write the question down, it will be adding much value to you guys. So question number 2, it says the area of a triangle ABC is 44 centimeter square. Yes. If D is the midpoint of BC, and A is the midpoint of AB. Then the area of triangle BDE. Yes. Number A, it is 5.5. Number B, it is 11. Number C, option C is 44. Number D, it is 22. So this is a question that was asked in 2020 CGL first year, and then I felt that, like, yeah, this is one of the important questions that you can be exposed to, you can be told. So how do you try to solve this problem? So the first approach that I will be telling is the conceptual approach that I can write it over here. Conceptual approach. Okay, let us try to see how much time we can save when we are trying to solve such kind of problems. Fine. So first, let us try for conceptual. So you have a triangle. So you will be trying to draw something like ABC. Then it is told if D is the midpoint of BC. D is the midpoint of, so D, this is D, and E is the midpoint of AB. So E is the midpoint of AB. So you have this one. So he's talking about the area of the hatch region, the area of this region. Fine. I think you guys can understand the nature of the problem now.
Yes, sir.
You are given this problem, you are given this triangle A, B, and C, and the area is 44 centimeters square. Now, D is the midpoint of BC and E is the midpoint of AB. So how do you solve this problem? It's like, what you can do is, what is the area of triangle? The area of triangle is half into base into altitude. Half base into altitude. So you'll be telling that, yeah, half base into altitude, but where do I find the altitude? Yeah, so altitude means the perpendicular line which is drawn, a line segment which is drawn on to the base from the opposite vertex. So do I know the height of this one? I don't have this information. And what do I know about the whole depth, whole height? That also I don't know. So how do I solve this kind of problems? You start puzzling during the examination. Then what you will be doing is you will be taking a lot of time over here. Okay. So in such kind of problem, please try to avoid, if you are going through the conceptual route during the examination, let us say that you don't remember the formula or you don't remember the approach at all when you are trying to solve, when you are facing this kind of problem. Then what you can do is you will be drawing all this stuff and all, but one thing that I will be telling you is do not try to draw any isosceles triangle or any equilateral triangle or anything like that. Just try to draw a right angle triangle. Fine. Just try to draw a right angle triangle. Okay, something like this. Then you will be asking what should be the what should be this vertex, what should be this vertex, and what should be this vertex. Okay, so what you can do is, say here you are told triangle ABC, and then in those here some other points are also given, which is if D is the midpoint of BC and E is the midpoint of AB. Okay, so B is common in both of these line segments, both of these sides. So take this one as B, okay, and take this one as A, and this one as C. Fine. And then when you try to draw this one, so you will be having something like here point D and this is point E. So you have a picture like this. So instead of this one, you always try to draw, always try to refer to this kind of problem, this kind of figures. Okay, you have to avoid this one. At least during the examination there might be cases that you don't remember the formulas at all. So it is for that for that what to say case, for that cases wherein you don't remember at all. See, like certain people, they can memorize like lots of formulas. They can remember even the entire book itself. But for some people, it's very difficult for them to even remember a small kind of formula. So it is for those kind of people, even in this lot of you, like there will be some people who don't remember at all. So, and then if you are able to remember all those portions like which are given to you, like number system or simplification or LCM or ICF, average, let it be any other chapters. So let us suppose that you know all those chapters except for this chapter. So you please try to draw only the right angle triangle for this type of questions, and avoid this kind of problems. I'll tell you why. This is about a conceptual approach, right? So if we see, then he's asking about the area of the H region, that is area of triangle BDE. Yes, triangle BDE. So for the triangle BDE, we can write half into BD into BE. Fine. So when you write this one, you can even like express this one in terms of BC and BE in terms of AB. So you can get half into half of BC and half of BE means AB. Okay. So you will be having this formula 1/4 into 1/2 into AB into BC. You will be having this kind of formula. So what is this? This is the area of triangle ABC. So what you have, the formula is 1/4 into 44, that is equal to 11. So that is how you get the answer through conceptual route. So your option is this one. And then yeah, if you are stuck with the previous triangle, then like even with 1 minute also you won't be able to solve it, because like you don't know the altitude, the length of the altitude, the height you don't know. So you'll be having a lot of like time that is being consumed over here. But whereas in the second approach, that is by drawing a right angle triangle, you have reduced the time considerably as of now. Okay. And next would be like if you have solved this type of questions multiple times. Let us say that you have solved these questions, this sort of questions in a like say 10 questions, like in your practice after you wake up, like that whatever I was suggesting you to do. So let us suppose that way. And then the first approach, the first time when you try to solve this approach, what you found was you start solving this way. It takes about say like 2 minutes. It took about 2 minutes for you to solve this problem. Fine. Now let us reduce the time from 2 minutes to about mere some 15 to 20 seconds. Fine. Not even that. Okay. So let me rub it off, and then let me try to generalize it a little bit so that there is a generalized formula for solving this sort of questions. Fine. So yeah, now conceptual, yes, I'll be removing this one. A, B, C, and D. Let us suppose that they are in some ratio. They are in some ratio, and it can be like okay, yes, they are in some ratio. Let us say 1:3 or 1:3 or 1 here. So 3 and this is 1, and this is 3 and this is 1. Okay. So 1:3 they have divided. Let us suppose this is the first day, like this is the second day that you are solving such kind of problem. Let us suppose when you are practicing it early in the morning. So 3:1 and 1:3. Then you have known that, yeah, that triangle area of triangle BDE, it was like half into B D into BE. Yes, you will be remembering about this formula, right? If I'm right, so you can still remember this formula from the previous day. Now what you do is you simply write half, and what is BD? Okay, what is BD? BD is like 1/4 of the total length, right? That is 1/4 of BC, and this is about 1/4 of A and B, AB. This is about 1/4 of, like this BD is 1/4 of BC, and BE is 1/4 of AB. So you can simply write like this. Then you have something like 1/4 whole square, half into BC, half into AB, AB into BC, AB into BC. You will be having this expression in your mind right now. So you will be having 1/16 of area of larger triangle of triangle ABC. So you have 1/16 of area of larger triangle. So what is this? So 1/16, how can you simply get it by just looking at the answer? It's like parts divided by, this is parts divided by, this is what portion of, like the whole length, this is one part, and this is the sum of parts whole square into area, into area of larger triangle ABC. So if you apply this formula, you will be having, like, you can right away get the answers. So let us try to apply this this approach in the first question, in the question that we were solving. Now the question says the area of triangle ABC is 144. If D is the midpoint of BC and E is the midpoint of AB, then the area of triangle BDE is, it's being told. So what part is, what is part? One portion of it. And here, like in our previous question, like in the question we are given, this is equal to BD is equal to DC, BE is equal to AE. So this is 1 divided by 1 plus 1 whole square into triangle, into area of triangle ABC. This is 1/2 square. It is 1/4 of area triangle ABC. Okay, so this formula is very much applicable to for solving such kind of problems. And when you remember this kind of approach, you can solve within some maybe some 20 seconds. Okay, so let us hear from you. So suppose that like there is some ratio, like this is 1, this is 2:1, 2:1:2. Yes. So can you get can you tell me the answer for this one? How much will be the, what will be the like ratio between the area of the smaller and the area of the larger one triangle? Anyone? I think you guys have understood, or you guys are still stuck with some issue over here?
Little confusing, sir.
Okay, where, which portion exactly?
Uh,
So this
Starting
part?
from the, yeah, from that part, sir.
Okay. So let me explain once again.
Okay.
See, if you are confused at any point of time, you are always welcome to stop me at that moment. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So it is like here. Let's go back to our previous question. This is 1. This is 1. Or this can be, yes. So if we are trying to solve about this one and then trying to get the generalized, this is 4. This is 4. Sorry, this is 3. This was 3. Yes. So when you are told about finding this area of this triangle, what you can do is, what is the length of BE? This is 1/4 of AB. And what is the length of this one? It is 1/4 of BC. Why I am getting 1/4? This is because I can add, this is the sum of ratios, 1 plus 3. Here also 1 plus 3. Okay?
Okay.
This is the sum of parts that I was referring to, sum of parts. This is the portion which I was telling about, and then part or the numerator that I was referring to was this one, part. Okay, sum of parts and part. So if I can write something like this, part divided by sum of parts whole square into area of triangle ABC, that gives you the answer like right away. So when you try to apply this concept over here, so the question was, it was like it is the midpoint of all these portions. So it was the midpoint of those lines. So the part, like the ratio will be 1:1. So here what you can get is, what is the length of the part? 1. And what is the sum of these two parts? It is 1 plus 1. It becomes whole square into area of triangle ABC. Then you have 1/2 whole square is equal into area, that is equal to 1/4 into area. So you have the option as 11 in your in this question. Is it fine? Or is there any doubts anywhere?
No, sir.
Clear, sir.
Clear, right? So let me hear from you guys. So what would be the answer if it was 2 instead of 1? Can you try?
1/9. 1/9.
1/9, right? Yes, 1/9 of area. So like if you can remember this approach, it hardly took some 5 seconds for you, like to tell about the answer. So this is what I was telling about memorizing, or like at least you will be exposed to such kind of problems when you practice more and more. So when you are practicing more and more, you will be developing some new approaches on your own, or will be helping you out. We are there to assist you in developing those approaches. Fine. And we'll be clearing up some concepts that you will be facing. And I can even make this one more complicated. I can make this one as 2 or this one as 3. So for those procedures, we'll be discussing more in the class during the actual classes. But as of now, let us stop over here. And then, let us take a quick break of about 5 minutes. And then after that, I'll be switching over to this one. I'll be sharing the screen, and then I'll be writing in using a writing pad. Okay, so that is now we'll just take a break of 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Am I audible to you guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I'll be, yes, whiteboard share. Okay. So I think my screen is visible to you guys, like each of you.
Yes,
And
sir.
yes,
Sir.
now let us try to see a new topic, like which you will be having, like you will be facing to. So in exams, but then it can be as a part of some other chapters as well. It can come as ratio and proportion, or it can be percentage, or it can be anything. So the next topic that we'll be discussing is about problems on edges. Fine. Problems on edges. Yes. So yes. Okay. So problems on edges. So is it visible to you guys, or should I like increase the size of
Visual, sir.
visible? Okay.
It's
Thank you so
visible.
much. Thank you so much. So yeah. So there are there is a topic like which you guys might have been like solving right from the childhood days, like maybe the first time when you first started solving linear equations in a sense like x plus y equal to 12, and if you are told that 3x plus 5y equal to 32. So when you are given such kind of problems, and then when you are told to find the value of x and y, these are linear equations. Because why? Because the power of x and y, they are equal to 1. The maximum power is 1. So these are linear equations. Okay, so without going much into the details about linear equations, there are many shortcuts for solving linear equations, and there are many approaches which can be summarized as like the elimination method, which I wouldn't be touching right at right at this moment. Then substitution method, or it can be shortcut method. Then there can be Cramer's rule. There are many stuff that you can apply, and then you can get the answers for like all these problems. But then for this class, like I will be focusing on how do you try to develop, how do you try to understand the problem, and then how do you try to start writing the equations. If you write the equations only, then you will be able to solve. So while solving also, like you will be like facing so many like difficulties that so many difficulties. So we'll be trying to understand, or we'll be trying to identify some approach with which we can solve those kind of problems in a much easier way. So generally, the problems on edges, they usually come like this, like time before some years, like before some years. So this is the years that is like before, number of years ago. Questions number of years ago, numbers of years ago, then this is the ratio that will be given to you at this moment. Before some 10 years or so, like if I tell a typical question, it will be like a father's son was twice like his son's age like 10 years before. So you might have seen those this sort of questions in your younger classes, or you might have seen in CGL like question papers. And the second portion would be the present ratio, present ratio of edges. And the third is T3. This is number of years after, and this is the N3. This is ratio of edges after T3 years. Ratio of edges T1 years ago. So here in problems on edges, what like sort of questions will come is like, I'll come to this a little later. Little later means like maybe after 1 minute or so. Like 3 information will be given. I don't know, either of the 2 information will be given, or yes, or 1 information, or some ratio like will be given, or some percentage will be given, additional information with which you will be finding the edges of the father or the son, or like all the people like that are associated with. Okay, so they will be telling about certain things, that is age some years before, age some years before, and second is like present age, and the third one is age after some years. So you will be given either of these two equations, either of like the relationship between the present or the some years before or after some years. Like you will be given any of this, like any two of this information to you, and then you have to find the either the present age or the age before some years, all those sort of questions. So once we start solving the problems, it will be much easier to you guys. But then if like, so there are some notations that you need to understand. That is like age before some years before you, that is generally represented by T1, that is number of years ago, and the ratio of edges 10 years T1 years ago is represented by N1, and the present ratio of edges is N2, and number of years after, that is represented by T3, and the ratio of edges after T3 years is N3. Fine. So these are some sort of life hacks that can be applied while solving this sort of problems. Or like at the end of the classes, at the end of this chapter, you wouldn't be needing all these formulas like at that moment. Now while solving these problems, like you will be getting used to many kind of approaches which you can directly apply while even while reading the question itself. Okay, so in high school question to paring aida noi khuding mak na ko noi na ningsing dei se akoi gi si hazik akoi si na gini ba matam kharagi akoi generalize mamangi akoi na question triangle gi solve to matam da akoi na generalize oiba concept ama last puraktra 1 by n square haiga puraktra adu purakpai type ta akoi si gi generalize oiba ma purakna ba ko akoi na si gi T1 N1 N2 T3 N3 man the sinner in ever ado sigi man the sinner matam sida noina khangba yai se kaigumba sigi formula yaroga formula mam lakni ko kaigumba sigi sin memorize to bangamaba. If you can memorize the formulas, then right away you can solve those problems during the examination. So I would advise you like both ways, like just try to try to understand the concepts, as well as just try to remember the formulas, expressions. Okay, so these are the hint points about the introduction on problems on edges. So we'll be trying to solve some problems that in which like we are given number of years ago this information and this information and the present age. Okay, some like present ratios. So we'll be trying those type of questions, and we generally call them as the first type number 1. Okay, so type number 1 generally in there time T1 will be given, N1 will be given, and N2 will be given. That is the question which which I will be telling this, the first question. So let us try to derive the formula for this one, as well as let us try to solve okay adi ai noi da kanam hange ko noi gi apamba adom chatse chigi T1 N1 N2 sizinaraga akoi expression ama hana akoi purakna ba hana sira na traga na question ama solve taruga sigi se kam line of solve to ba yage to try to sira animak to ba yai ado noi kram bana matam chang dage do noi hypet fill am phawning ko hypet fill am phawning fill the power gadi yes noi da haidi aina tai se chi kana bu do phadana phangba ngamni ba. Any suggestions?
Let's do both, sir.
Both. Okay, so yes, yes. So let me derive the equations first. So I'll just erase it off and then start drawing. Yes. So let us say that some information is given like A and B. These are two people. Okay. So these are two people, and then the first information that is given to us is B's present age is N1 times N2 times the h of the present h of a. So from this equation, from this line itself, the first sentence that is given to this question is B's present h is n2 times the present h of a. From here, what you can write is B, just take this one, B and A as the as the people like for whom you are trying to find out the h. Okay, B is equal to n to A. So how is it? B present h say n2 times that of A have never. The first thing the generalized for B equal to n2 A have irani. See first equation have like second condition moina pyramid saying either of the two conditions piram gani na haina. Two conditions piram gani na haida. Condition amana karino hamatamda. B's A's after B's age before T1 years was N1 times that of A in higher. Question mine higher. B's age before T1 years was N times that of A in higher. So mine higher matam sida. What you can get from this line is B minus T1. B minus T1 kagino minus T1 like kagino hai matam da yeng aigi baba haige aigi pabungi chahi do aigi aiga si relate to ne na har se ko ado ai pabung say before chahi tara mamangda aigi pabungi khogi chahi do hai ta di ai pabungi han present as tagi 10 years khaido kani similarly ai chahi jidagi 10 years khaido kani ko aduna ai 10 years minus T1's khaido ineva. So I am subtracting T1 years from both my age and father's age. Okay, and B's age. So from the two, A minus T1 haina irage. Aduga the condition am piri N1 times that of A1 A na piri. Dita di N1 haina hai. Dita di I on the two equations later. B later so later B equal to N to A. Aduga so amdana B minus T1 equal to N1 A minus T1 hain later. So we have two equations, two unknown. That is, unknowns are T is given and N1 and N2 are given. So unknowns are A and B. So two unknowns, two equations. So we'll be able to solve this kind of problems in a very simple way. Although say that without complicating complicate the bidda B say N to A gamani hain hide. I say that directly N to B minus T1 hain hape aduga from the N1 A minus N1 T1 hain hide. I say that can I say aina palm say okay sorry it's the A Nikon. Sorry, yes. N2 A minus T1 is equal to N1 A minus N1 T1 later. Aina unknown say A is never the country say. Ato makati pula pirame. Aina zip A say I from N1 A say I left hand side the Purani. Later and the N1 A later. So I'm the T1 minus N1 T1 later. Ato ibata agadi. A common low to A N minus N1 simplification is the dika. Data 1 minus N1 later. Data the A say say T1 1 minus N1 divided by N2 minus N1 later. Ita di A gi chahi say seasne hai. Aduga N B is na kaino hamatam the N2 times that of A neighbor is equal to N2 T1 1 minus N1 divided by N2 minus N1 later. Later the CG expression ani say kaigumba noina paraba natragana kaigumba noina memorize orba. Memorize to why is it no hundreds of formulas, there will be hundreds of formulas. Will you be able to remember all these formulas like throughout the entire year? I have a question on that. I don't know oda Vidyasagar nasu mamang class hai ko. Noigi formulas makay mayam banina noi pulap tiningsing mga moy adubu noi na kay gumba sige se hana solve to betar badi doitadi aina okay ay sumaina ma solve to gre doitadi ay recall to memory ama memorize the type the recall the type the ama lakani adu la amazumda sigi noina sigi se directly pan banga matene si phasu pharakani noina question say aina ngasai haibido to make forward paga as soon as you wake up if you try like solving those kind of problems like for 30 days at least then you will be seeing a lot of improvement in yourself this is the aina noida tau haibida noina kayumba illagadi yes you will be having that improvement natragadi improvement phangoi aduna yari makai akoi noi improve tawno honai ni ko akoi se whatever akoi da laiba ai experiences hai tare ai life experience makai se ai noi da infuse tawno honai ni aduga noi da noina some way noina apply to bunga magadi that's the best thing that you can take it from us okay aduna akoi advice ki type ne ko ai noi da chi tawda yaroi haiga noi yumda la ku bunga manate ama to bunate ado adumado thadokre noi graduates ngakne aina adu yongna haibada ka tare adu noi apply to heta di kitang practice kitang to ko adu lere adu ta di ai ngasai gi formula se noi si formula makai jong tang isan gera somewhere kai gino da ai next page chalage ko next page chalaga akoi problem ama akoi solve to no hona si problem da koi si apply to we ana hona si adu at the same time we'll be trying to write the equation as it is like as we read the question okay aduna sig je amtang sin bi onoi da ko isan biro noi gi cheda yare ko thank you to makai ju yara mani na khale rita di ai next question da chalage je question da chat matam se da hana question hana understand to no hona ji ko question hai say a father is twice as old as his son a father ai hana itorage a father is twice okay twice as old as his son. And I think kitang thi nikos the control kitang what pane aduna excuse to we adu bukti 20 years ago the age of the father was 12 times that of his son. Find the present age of the son. Present age of the son. Find higher. Look at a father is twice as old as his son. Sigi question, sigi sentence have pamatam da. When the kai pick up the hogani hamatam sida. A father haita di f na lawrong. F sina father ne na hairo. Aduga son haita di s na son na han lawrong. Sigi se han I horo sumaina ko. Sigi se noi atopa maming haire khalase. Tina hairo adugi di Rachel hairo Diana hairo ko. Adu ita di is the father moigi first initial makaido. Adu makaido hana lahoro. Adu lawre aduga a father is twice as old as his son have never. Aita di father is equal to twice as no dire hero. Ko. She says sumain ibe are. Aduga is there any doubts libra? Anyone? I don't think you must be having because
No doubt, sir.
Gyantaramani ko. Tai ko.
Tai.
Okay, adudi I see tick mark to thamage arrow ma pisalamage. Aduga 20 years ago ita the father jagi to 20 years khaido ani 20 haina khaido aduga som the I son su 20 khaido the age of the father was 12 times that of his son have never adita the I say the 12 times hai never adita agadi find the present age of the son have never adita the son gi present age agadi s se puto o na hai never man question hai adita the directly noina khiza kedo bayai hai matam da I see say twice as and hapsan by are see equations the c values hapsal na khale f equal to twice as say the twice s minus 20 then 12 s minus 20 data di say the si solve torga adum no idam answer dum phangdi phangani ko ado solve to je har ga di yes torasi data di twice s minus 20 excuse me about that 12s minus 12 into 20 later data di data minus 10s aduga somdana minus 20 ai dum sangna torke ko noi gyan tanaba data this data s in kaino ham tamda okay data 20 or the sorry 20 or the yes data 12 into 20 plus 20 divided by 10 later minus 10 later data 6 kya ata hai anyone 6 say 44 tar ni ko sorry 22 tar ni ai son ki ऐसे 22 tar ni sumain taraga aduga father s na similar option similar season araga ai 44 haina phangani ba father s na twice na father is equal to twice s that's why so the father's s would be 44 and later aduna sina akogi question hek pa matamda noina send tawdeise sida aina kaida matam manghali haina koi aida hange kaida matam manghange hamtamda f equal to twice s haina ai sim ko e leire aduga sidam ko hapchale adu e be mohota noina tawdeise kaino hamtamda sije sugi e ro no ba sigi se omit tawdeine ba sida magi shortcut method ta omit kamai tawgani hamtamda father equal to twice s haina hai garmina twice s minus 20 haina direct is over 20 years ago haina adu itadi kai times no 12 times that of sun minus 20 haina ilo sina direct oination ba sida akoi directly lakpa without writing these two equations see equation ani se e da ko sida directly you'll be focusing on these equations and then you'll be trying to solve the value of s from here once you get the value of s it is very simple f father's s is twice having f equal to twice s data did not answer right away dum phangani ba say the present age of the sun khak irame ado father's ki age odum taragadi adu main lai ko si lai re aduga ngasai gi formula do kai gumba seasonaragadi ko sun gi age se kamain la ani hai matamda akoi gi sun gi se akoi gi smaller do oidene sun sina always smaller aduga father sina always larger adum oidene ko adu itadi ai gi b haina ina samaina iramgani b t1 1 minus n1 divided by n2 minus n1 haina iramgani ado ngasai gi do kai gamba na formula do memorize to bangamba kanguna sigi se directly apply taraga adum phangani ko sun gi s adum phangani sida apply to buda adu sigi sina yengo noida you have been given two choices the first is like through like repeated solving this problem this sort of questions then you will be able to understand how to write how to come up with this sort of equations once you have these equations you will be knowing how to you will be finding the value of whatever values that is required on the other hand if you can memorize all the formulas you can directly write these equations see here t1 is what like t1 is 20 1 minus n1 n1 means it is 12 divided by n2 n2 is twice minus 12 okay so this is the way you try to solve this kind of problems so this is the second approach that I can tell and this is the first approach that I can tell for me like my favorite is this one I have a low memory power so I wouldn't be able to remember all these formulas so I'll be writing all these sort of questions like this so but for those of you who can remember all these equations and all these formulas you are always welcome to do like this will also give the same answer yarba doubts labra anyone natragana gyan tadaba yauriba
Sir, excuse me, sir.
yarba
Excuse me, sir.
hayo
Jai ahanbada formula sembada T2 omit tawkhibdo sir. Adum yaudabra T3 da direct adum ibu natraga kamain
karambano sisira okay
first akoina T1 se number of years ago haina high frequency sir. Aduga N1 pire N2 pire T2 se yaudna T3 da direct sakhibse
T3 di ay yaudri T3 di yaudri bunga
adu sir T2
Ano sir? Excuse me sir.
sir
Previous page ko sir. Hai sir na
Okay.
T1 laga
Yeah.
T2 skip taro T3 oina ikreba. Adugi ni man hai.
T3
sir.
bana.
Ah.
Sidaro. 81 ngaktan is
Before this one, sir.
before this one. Okay.
Sir, both the
Other, sir. See, sir. T1, N1, N2, and T3, sir. This one.
Okay, T1 later. Okay. This is to not to confuse you. See, the in you say, see, nice observation by the way. Yeah, thank you. See the higher say T1 years ago, years ago, high matam sida no the magi time say T1 high na high ganiba. Aduga magi ratio high tadi N1 high na high. Aduga after some years high matam da T3 high jaka you know high di. Agi ratio say I past की जो है ratio लगनी present की जो ratio लगनी third की जो है ratio लगनी बा ratio से अहुम लेबो इता अगदी n1 n2 n3 है ना ले रहे अदो इता अगदी सही दा अगी years जो t1 का t3 का सो मायने e मतम से दा ऐसे confusion से चल रहा है बा जिसे confusion चल रहा है जिसे कहीं ना ऐसे दा suppose I write t2 तो t2 से नहीं है formula memorize तो मतम दा ऐसे किसे t1 ना t2 रा है T1 से C T2 से C गिरा hyper question हम लाने maybe during the examination who knows like you will be facing so many you'll be in a stress condition so you might be thinking that like T2 is for this one because like I have the ratio as N2 है ना ले उन्हें ratio से अगर इतना दिनों इन खलक पे याद इसे T2 है ना और हम बस ये C किसदा और हम बया है ना खला नहीं अदुगी mistake तो थोक तो ना बा है ना deliberately है ना C किसे instead of T2 ऐसे T2 ओइबम होता है T3 ने जम तो उन्हीं को ज्ञानता कदर इबंगो
Oh यार sir अइना दी T2 से अतोपगी value तोंगाल मा लई की भाई इधर है ना खन बस
नते observation हम फंसे को thank you अदो कोई क्लास ओइता दी है ना केनो तो गदम ने interactive वर्गा सुमाइना मैं कुछ इक मको ज्ञानता ना बमोंग दलो इचत कदम ने अदो हजिती or just orientation class in I'll be only teaching you a few maybe some concepts अदुगा class पढ़ने यारो कानदी हाइदी एगी mode of teaching चिना कमाई तो गेदा अतोपा ओजासिंग कितन केना बजु है को आई सीधा SSC दा हम कने experience ही ओइदरी अदुबु एगी दी each and every one of you noi putting my problem is solve to he gada men laiba ko एगी approach अदुगा आई generally a classroom do ita di noi gi boys lo mak yen kani हाइदी एगी motive ti noi heiba अदुगा noi clear to khib exam clear to noi join to khib tने अदो noi seida formula pangam dre haga perka pass ngam dawdi adudi nuaite aduna formula su pigani at the same time concept su ngam pirakani ka aduna animak to bonina noi animak gyan ta ga kind of smooth flow ma transition am lak na bane yai ko adugi mong da dum chat na hona si adu ta de sigi se gyan ta ni ko ai next question da chat pe yar ba नहीं कुंबिरा केरो
Yeah, sir. Next, sir.
Yara, sir.
यानी सर
कगर हाइबिरो अदुम हाइना आइसु ज्ञान तादे आई चंदा वांगांग मालेब नतदि को नोय कुमा
Loin tai sir.
ओके फरे नोय कुमा अगदि नुआइबा question number 2 से आई नोय गिस हजिकी cam grabs तोग्रे हाइदु येंगे को cam grabs तोग्रे हाइगे येंगे अदु सिदा हाइ से age of the father 4 years ago age of father 4 years ago was 8 times 8 times that of his son at present the father's age is 4 times that of his son. Later, find the present age of the son. Find the present age of the son. The Haziki approach to Sinaraga, Haziki formula, the right away season no formula, no sigi, Natagana equation to itoga, concepts any sweet call. Haziki equation to itoga, no Haziki present age of the sun, the Potopangambra. Second gam Tangiemo. Haziki formula Sinaraga. aduga answer lanba chumba lanba adum bai kemta leite ko answer hadikidi no first attempt nina first few trials si answer lanba su ai chumba su ai adubu seida la le haiga agonda haig da to no adum haidor over answer se ko answer say ai 7 ta deni answer di 7 ta ba mi yaw bro
Tare, sir.
tare ko second game changi be ma
Mga second theodre.
si theodra okay maybe me changi say multiplication has it first try hoy na say let us say that 20 seconds low hai na has okay ko 20 seconds low give se hadik say noina next question si ga chap manaba question ama umka kola ku matam chida noi si ga say umka further reduction umka lakani maybe around 5 seconds sign lakani 5 seconds sign lan ado 5 seconds the hot question nama attempt tawum ta di ngasai 36 seconds ne per question da so it 5 seconds the lag matam di no the bonus point yam pange 31 seconds overall 31 second bonus yeah if you have 31 second bonus then you have sample amount of time okay no si se iri se kana no yes yare adi tadi atop mo kay taraba anybody who hasn't got his answer as 7 dum taraba maliko
Tare, sir.
loi tare na kale adi tadi see na first type of question never ado akoi is second type of question set type am lei mai so akoi si say in terms of ratio piram bayai in terms of percentage piram bayai san have the 4 years ago akoi ki father the age of the son was about 40% that of his father's age han haram basiyai ko chida akoi yeng si son gi age 40% that of father han haram basiyai ado chida no akoi ki percentage chapter da no si gi say percentage tagi fraction da kamaina ontorokani aina tamani adugi tamakpado sida apply dum tokselani aduna sigi concept sigi question say koi ki percentage ha ga su akoi lobu su yawi natragana si se kai gumba ratio da pyramid ba 2/3 ha se 2 by okay 3/2 san hen okay san helani do ita diko 1/4 that of father and ha se 1/4 that of father and ha matam sida do ita di sigi ratio and proportion gi akoi chapter da chat kibasu yai aduna asigi question sigi chapter se no ying sai aina list tawbudo adai de yaudabani aduna moi se either percentage chat kiba fraction chat kiba natraga akoi gi ratio and proportion da chat kibasu yai si sina akoi gi first type of problems on problems on edges ore aduga second type hargadi akoi ngasai gi type number akoi gi 2 hana learning type number 2 sidna kai ge piram gani ha matam da ngasai gi t1 piramani not t3 piram with sorry t3 pire n3 pire duga n2 hana pire haidi kaino t3 piram ba haidi kaino after some years magi edges ki ratio the piramani a plus t3 is equal to n3 b plus kaino higher pyramid b plus t3 na pyramid so minus pyramid aduga akoi ki present na kaino pyramid se a se equal to n to b hana pyramid so minus pyramid conditions makai se after some years ko minus the pyramid condition makai se yang si ko so after 10 years the ratio of the father's son and the son's age is so and so na pyramid aduga at the same time okay second sentence pyramid say whereas the ratio of the present age of the father and the son is so and so that is n2 hana pyramid so it define the father's age or the son's age hana pyramid question da adum ba sort of question say akoi ngasagi same approach taraga akoi na hot pa yai ko same approach taraga hot pa yai adu ita di akoi se so a say n to b ni adu ita di ai se da right away n a to gi a gi value se ai se hapchal le akoi si na first approach ni ko ngasai alex nang sai question nama hangib do aina nang hang siam phajai na hai gib do sei da aina t2 ka le se kari gi no na hai ko do ado ado sigizini ko seda t3 later aduga se t3 later seda entry sign later ni ko kaigumba se t2 oita di t2 se aina present kini hana option givai na something there might be some mistake ko. So just to avoid that I am writing t3 and then I am omitting t2. Okay, in some of the textbooks they even write t2, but I feel it doesn't make much sense. So like you can always write as t3 and t1. Okay, so this is how you write the equation. N2b plus t3 is equal to n3b plus t3. So we'll just try to derive this formula and then maybe write it down, and then after we face the next problem, then you will be able to apply this sort of concepts directly, like these formulas directly. Okay, so n2b plus t3 is equal to n3b plus n3t3. Now you have b equal to n2 minus n3, and here you have okay, t3 n3 minus 1. Theta d is theta b equals t3 n3 minus 1, okay, divided by n2 minus n3. Yare theta d sigi equation sina sigi expression sina koi ngasagi akogi younger oiba mido gi a suniko aduga akoina sida older orgadi akoi ngasagi a se a na kayoini ham tamda n2 times that of b neighbor aduga b is na expression na cc oi tadi sigi expression se koi derive tawre aduga noi se is da phaba ngamagadi noi you can apply these equations in your exam, in the exam. Okay, so this is how you proceed. So let me come to that problem, like the third question on problem on edges. So let me just tell you, the age of Mr. Gupta was 4 times. Age of Mr. Gupta was 4 times that 4 times the age of his son, 4 times the age of the son. After 10 years, the age of Mr. Gupta will be twice that of his son's age. Find the present age. I think excuse me for that. Any word on the heavy row, please let me know. I'll just try to clarify it. Okay, so when you are given such kind of problem, the first thing that you need to see is like age of Mr. Gupta was 4 times. Okay, so I'll write G as one of the initials, that is G equal to 4s. Okay, am I clear with you guys? And the second sentence that you will be writing is after 10 years, you have to stress on this word after. If you mistakenly like read this one as before, then you are done for. So you have to search for this kind of keywords in the question, in the whole question. So after means G plus 10. Okay, and even for the son also you have to add. Okay, I see, you know. And after for the son's age also you need to write, okay, you need to write s plus 10. And how much is the ratio? Like after 10 years, the age of Mr. Gupta will be twice that of his son's age. Twice. Without wasting much time, you can directly write this equation. 4s plus 10 is equal to twice s plus 10. And then you try to solve the value of x from here, s from here. Or else you can directly write this equation. Employ this equation for solving, for getting the value of b. So now you can ask me like, so how do we know if the a is the correct answer or b is the correct answer? So you have to know that the younger age would be always like it wouldn't be associated with the n term over here. You will be having any n term over here, whereas in the younger age, whereas in the older age, you will be having this particular number n2. Okay, so that is how you just try to identify the numbers, and this is how you solve. So when you solve this one, so it is like 4s minus twice s equal to 20 minus 10 twice s equal to 10 s equal to 5. Okay, so this is how you solve. Am I clear with you guys, or is there anybody who hasn't understood at any point of time? I think I'm pretty clear. Okay, so why don't we try with the next question, and I will expect the answers from you. So let us try this question. So question number 4 would be like 15 years hence. 15 years hence, Rohit will be 4 times that of his that of his 4 times of his 4 times of his age he was 15 years back. Okay, I'll go ahead again. Find Rohit's present age. Okay, so the question high CNC. Okay, I see that. Question high CNC. 15 years hence, Rohit will be 4 times of his age he was 15 years ago. I've never. Adu itadi. I say right away ngasagi expression do kay hani ra payai hai matamda r plus 15 haran la ani 1 5 la ani. Okay, sorry. He was 15 years hence. Okay, r plus 15 haran la ani. Kay hence I've never. Hence I already after 15 years I never. Adaga Rohit ki chahi will be 4 times Rohit's age when he was 15 years ago. I've never. Aditadi r minus 15 haran. So my lan. Aditadi shida directly a r from r sidum putok payar. So this is one of the approach for when we try to involve T3 and T2. T1, sorry. T1 ga T2 ga ani mag yaksal lakanda akoina sana solve to se so mana direct ithokpa yai ko. The station is noina ngau gi di padana tum ngau yare after chahi manga trauma matumda my chahi or ambado kano after 15 years I my chahi or ambado kano ha no ngau dum yare adu ngau im hota I say that directly I say the equation se samana ithokpa ngamaba ai tadi how the problem is solved ka sije sida gyanta da yagudra adum sida noina si chapter je hek loy matam sida ai noida dum kano haige like no confidence pige ko sigi China equations dum itopa right away dum ngamgani adu maki akoi practice tawraga noi sumaina sigi level sidne noi thadok thise ko r plus 15 is equal to 4r minus 15 sumaina itopa ngambase aduga after reaching this point like noi seida ngasai ina haibido number system gi multiplication natragana simplification hierarchy simplification adum makhaido noina si matam sida adu darka ta aneba how to solve linear equations side darka ta aneba si matam sida once you get this one adu tadi si equation se hek phangbaga noi dum atopa concept makhaido atopa classes makhaido gi ko moi dum haira ani aduga noina si gi dum idhabai dum yarni si ni ko mai gi approaches haira de ado sidagi hena luba question mayam lady id saida kano piram gani samna haibada t1 pire n1 pire t2 pire t3 pire n3 pire mena harsi aditadi sumba question su mayam lady ado sumba question makai say koi solve to say kano to the male adi yamna hajikidi matam se kitang 10 brasu male ko ado 10 telagasu koi formula ibdi derive to budi nangaro adu koi concept makai ngasai gi equation iraga solve to no hona se ya bro ma'am wara bana chagana
Yeah, sir.
yai ko okay
Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir. It's okay.
hajiki ai sigi case se koi type number 3 hai na kawe ko hoina type number 3 na kawe ado ai sida type 1 2 3 khai do hai ga noi sida type 1 gi formula do adu ni type 2 gi formula do adu ni type 3 formula so and so hai ga noi long list of formulas ama leire na khalas adu noi by heart tawraga noi adu do remember tawge na adu memorize tawge na noi na kan honaraga di at some point of time you'll be stagnated with a lot of you'll be confused with a lot of formulas ko at some point of time adu na noi si je concept ma khanghoro aduga yam tuna kamai hot pangamni do china equation to ta lang ito pangamagadi if you are able to write this sort of equations right away then you'll be taking like some few seconds of your time okay so that is how you try to solve such kind of problems so question number 5 toroga koi ngasi gi di wind up tawsi adabu koi future classes ta koi thengnaraga di thengnani ni ka leko thengnaraga di yam line kamai hot pa yage do adu he na khangno hona siko aduga sida aina hai devi question say 10 years hai question ama hai ke sina last question hoisi 10 years ago Mohan's age was thrice as old as Ram but 10 years hence he will be twice as old as Ram. Find Mohan's present age. Okay. Says the information pyramid 10 years ago had the T1 pyramid. Yes, T1 I have the information on T1. Mohan's age was thrice as old as Ram. N1 is pyramid. N1 is pyramid, T1 is pyramid. Yes. 10 years ago have gone. Then but 10 years hence after 10 years that means I have T3 and then he will be twice as old as Ram had the N3 is pyramid. Mohan gi present as pyramid putor on have no. What you need to do is first of all we'll try to write the equations that we are told that means like 10 years ago aditadi ai initial makaji Mohan m loroge Ram jina r hain loroge aditadi m minus 10 aduga somdana r minus 10 is equal to Mohan's age was thrice have ne aditadi sigi thrice ka silere this is the first equation that you have and the second equation is but 10 years hence m plus 10 is equal to then r plus 10 lani Ram dazu chahi tara matung da habina r plus 10 dum lakani aduga twice as old as Ram habina twice or ni yai ko adu targadi Mohan's ki present age putu o habina adu says da ai time consuming oiba ma tamge aduga time consuming oidaba sidagi yengo ai noi sida substitution method natragana noina thaina tamakoda kenota mani elimination method kumbata mani nakale adaida akoi sida ai substitution method natragana ai akoi gi elimination method pan ge hamatam da ai sumain tawrani m plus 10 ai si long way ni ko noi gyan ta na bhai ni ai sida concept se gyan ta na bhai ni ko adaida long way je am ka hai ge eliminate to je na hai se m se magi coefficient je 1 oire se ju 1 oire adu ta di ai si subtract tawga ai m se omit tawgarni aduga r se dum pangani na khale Laitadi m is subtract to matam sida ida minus 20 la ani m sina 0 ta garni aduga somdana kai han phangani somdana ai sang ni thoge r minus 10 minus twice r plus 10 hai la ado sigi se aina somda solve to matamda minus 20 is equal to thrice r minus 30 minus twice r minus 20 handle later this 20 cancel to gre later the r say ai kya pange 30 pange ram gi chahi je 30 pange adu noi se da hangba yare ai ram gi question ram gi chahi pu to na haibra haidabra aina hangba yare aingonda aina si solve to se kari no why do I need to solve the value of the age of ram I don't need no need ka I don't need ka I see darka ta de bo chei hol legada prakada where every second counts no aduna aina se is the khangho de se I instead of finding the value of m I'll be focusing more on instead of finding the value of r I'll be focusing more on finding the value of kano neba koigi m neba m puthok no ba oina hona ho de neba adu ta di sig time consuming oiba approach neba sigi elimination method to ta zu sida noina sumaina tawragadi time consuming oigani aduna time consuming oiba potudi ai sida erase ograni aina si kana de ko noida taktana noina ko na harakani kaisu kanda vida wati warim ta alai na harakani ko after some time maybe aduna aina haide say the instead of trying to find the value of r what you can do is you can simply simplify this one m minus thrice r is equal to minus 30 minus 30 minus 20 tar aduga somdana m minus twice r is equal to 20 minus 10 tar. So now what you can do is you try to identify the coefficient of r. You try to find the value of coefficient of r. R की coefficient मखै जे खंगना होना से बको असिदा अहानबा equation da m minus thrice r equal to minus 20 ले m minus twice r equal to 10 ले एकता दि सिदा my coefficient जे 3 नि सोमदना 2 नि एकता दि coefficient सिना multiply दो चलो सिदा कोइ ngसागी 2 सिना सोमदा multiply दो चलो 2 सिना multiply तो मतमदा 2m ला नि minus 6r ले नि अदुगा सोमदना minus 40 ला अदो सोमदना सिगी 3 coefficient है other equation दगी अदुना multiply will be multiplying with the coefficient of r from the first equation to the second equation. Then we'll be having it as 3m minus 6r equal to 30. So once you get this one, you can directly write twice m minus 6r equal to minus 40. Then you can subtract. Then you get the answer. Something like this. Fine. So this is how you try to solve. So when you subtract this one, you have this one as you have this one as m equals minus minus plus, and then 40 plus 30, it becomes 70. So this is your answer. So don't waste your time trying to find the value of Ram's edge, but rather focus on finding Mohan's edge. Okay, this is what I wanted to say. And yeah. Silo aga koi class se sida class se roshilasi adubu I see just demo class ki type ne aduna koi I shibuk the concepts makai each and every one of you lo clear or amni nakale clear oi daba mi yaw bra anyone, let it be anyone ko I see the ngasi ta ko sida gyan ta daba ma yaw ko de adum I fellow men loge ko ado mi khuding ma gyan ta rodra ta rodra ta bra ta dabra adum tang haibiro taragadi am well and good. Ado taragadi try ko ado pare taragadi am pare ado itadi thank you itadi koi class the actual thing narka anda fazna maka chathar ko more with more problems with more cases, and then with more shortcuts we'll try to solve each and every question within 36 seconds. That is the overall objective of the whole coaching thing. Okay. Daddy, see why not Torsi? Thank you for the attention. Okay. Aduga any doubts like that? I want to hang bayani hasikidum. Laite. So much. Okay. That's the Roshila go on.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, yeah.